This is just going to run as long as I'm live. I find out if it stays that way. So here we are, just about set up. Some people are probably, if there's anybody even going to show up, they're probably already in the live chat on the other thing. But I'm just doing this here because my live chats have been a little bit flaky. Let's see what we got. I just wanted to quickly talk about the Orks and what they're doing. This will be probably my last. Well, this is definitely be my last solo game. Probably not going to. I'm probably not going to resume the playing with series until I have somebody to play with. And it's usually going to be their game. I'm either going to be learning the game or just helping out, explaining to people how the game goes. It's very difficult for me to explain Desolation, the Gorkamorka variant that I'm playing right now, when I don't even get comments on it. Normally people ask me, Blue Grots is nothing new. I did not paint them because I thought they were going to be lucky. And my purple orcs were not painted purple because I thought that they were going to be invisible. None of that stuff even existed. Red paint was a big deal back in the day. And, but when I first started playing, there was a lot of theft. With figures, people walked off with people's entire cases, entire armies. The Orcs weren't as affected by this, but there was some. I did have a few figures stolen from my original group, and I don't think it was intentional. It was probably more accidental than, they just thought it was theirs. Everything starts to look the same. And when that happened, basically we got into an argument. And it was got the whole group together. There was about 15 of us, orc players at the time. And you had a color for your skin or a color for your armor. So I had purple and yellow. And people had, green and yellow. People had green and red. But we designated out the colors, and I picked purple skin with yellow armor. We did have yellow orcs. We did have red orcs. We did have blue orcs. I know you can't tell from here, but all of my Gretchen here are plastic. I didn't have a lot of Gretchen at the time, and all of my squigs are plastic as well. They're not even resin. You'll notice that all these orcs right here, except for him, but all these orcs right here are all metal. And the pewter. They're all metal orcs because they're from the original. Some of these are orcs that I've had since the beginning. Not all of them. My army has definitely grown, but yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason for the. And out of spite, I painted all my hair green. So you can't. I don't know if you can see that, but all the hair, any hair on orcs got painted green. But yeah, it wasn't because of lore or anything like that my orcs are purple. And after 30 years of having orcs purple, I've just always continued it. I'm our original group of 15. Yeah, I think there was 15 of us. There may be even more, like probably closer to 10. But there was a bunch of us, and we were growing and shrinking and growing and shrinking all the time. So, like I said, it's hard to even say. I think we had up to 20 at one point. But yeah, that's why my orcs are always purple. So I have nothing against greenskin. I think greenskin orcs are great. They are the green horde. A mean team is a green team. All that other fun stuff that goes along with it. But yeah, that's the only reason. As far as some of the lore that seems to have gotten lost is that the spore is basically like a cloud. It almost is like smoke. It goes out the exhaust. The exhaust that they use they have in for the bike motorcycles. That exhaust is all spores. It's not pollutant. Well, you can probably consider the spores a pollutant, and they are corrosive because they destroy everything in their path. But that's what those spores are. That spore cloud turns into hundreds of snotlings, and then hundreds of orc boys, and those things could change in a day, or in an hour. You could be faced with an entire horde of orcs, fresh off the slaughter after fighting an entire horde of orcs. They just keep spawning. Once an orc is in an area, there's no getting rid of them. I think if you had to call a weakness, the best way to get rid of them is to be nice to them, is to not treat them with violence, because when people attack orcs become stronger. That's just the fact. Even exterminatus, which destroys whole planets, will not get rid of orcs from planets. They'll still be there. And it's one of the things. Also, the other thing I like about orcs is that orcs aren't bullies. They're not trying to. They don't care to conquer your lands or anything like that. They're just looking for a fight, and that's pretty much their nature. They're a little bit of goofballs and crazy and doing all this other stuff, but yeah, they don't even care about killing people. It's like somebody was telling me about Corn, the blood the blood prince or whatever it is in chaos, and how orcs would be, followers of Khorne. And it's like going, orcs don't care. They really just don't care about it. They don't care. They don't have a bloodlust. They don't care if the prince gets any blood. They have a higher calling. They are the remnants of what's known as Orks. And the Orks were absolutely brutal, highly technological, and very, very battle, pretty much battle ready, which is probably where the Orks get their lust for battle all the time, because that's what the Orks were built for, to just war. Over time, the beatdown of the Orks, which turned into the regular Orks. The Orks are actually a little bit smaller, from my understanding, but now that they have Thraka out, Thraka is basically a Ork, so I don't know how they're deemed that, but yeah, the Orks were highly intelligent and definitely ready for battle, but they also didn't have the special. I guess it mutated or evolved ability that the Orks have, which is belief. If Orks believe something strong enough, they make it happen. They manifest it. If they believe like this pile of junk is a truck, that pile of junk is a truck. They just have to believe in it strong enough, and they'll make it happen. I mean, Mechamaniacs, the mechs, literally just roll tires on in there and put 4 tires on a cardboard box and call it a race car. It's their weapons are just bits of metal. They don't usually have bullets, and if they have bullets, they don't usually fire them. I joked in the beginning when I first started doing it that these Orks have what's known as finger guns instead of pistols, and that's pretty much what a pistol is. Grots, on the other hand, have to have weapons because they don't have the same belief system that the Orks have. But an Ork can actually, if he believes his finger will fire a bullet, his finger can fire a bullet. And it's just how it is. If he believes strong enough that no bullets can hurt him, no bullets will hurt him, even real bullets. It's it's the one of the most amazing things about Orks, and it's one of the reasons that I love them so much. It's fluff. And fluff is fluff, and it's like if somebody who wasn't an Ork entered into the group, as long as you're leading to a battle, you can actually become a knob. You don't have to be an actual Ork. The one problem that you have is that they're pretty brutal. Orks are very brutal. Loss of limb is not unheard of for an Ork at any time. And I just adore them so much. Always have. And if anybody is interested, I can't. There's nobody in the chat. I have a secondary screen over here that I was going to watch the chat with, but I haven't even brought out all the rules. I'm still working on them. I still have a long way to go. But making an army is really simple. It is we designate it by teeth, just the way Gorka Morka set up. That's just for your starting army. I don't use teeth at all in the system. But I am saying I don't use teeth. But if somebody comes in there, they want to start trading in teeth. They're interested in teeth, as a thing. It goes back to that belief system. If they believe that that's the currency, that's the currency. That's how it works. That's how I'm going to play the game. That's how Desolation plays. And yeah, and pretty much it just, orcs are spawning all the time. Knobs aren't spawning as quickly, but orcs are basically spawning all the time. I mean, it's taken me 3 days, and that's probably only about 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, you already have a regular boy, and you have about seven or more youths going to become boys. And here I am talking about like how a boy can become, in 15 minutes, can go from a snotling to a boy in 15 minutes. But a youth, an orc could be a youth for 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years. It's one of the more amazing things about it. Some orcs may never progress. It's just they're not getting into that many battles, or they're the first one dropped at every turn. And once they became a youth, they're just no longer able to hit anymore. I had something about de-evolving orcs, but that's going to be neither here nor there. It seems like this test run is going to work, so I'm going to probably set up and get ready for my 100th video. And once I get that done and ready, we're going to have a few announcements to go. I'm going to be talking about playing with and movies and things like that. The things that are going to be probably dropped. I'm going to probably I'm not going to talk about it now. This is just for the orcs. But yeah, if anybody's interested in doing this game or any game, anything that they're interested in, video games, chess and stuff like that, I definitely will do. Checkers, backgammon, Yahtzee. We could definitely do those games if somebody wants to do them. They're online. We can probably play an online game of it. And we can make that happen. I am working on so I can show my screen so I can play video games. That might happen later. But yeah. So we'll be talking. I'll talk more about the orcs. Definitely enjoy the song. It is, like I said in the description, it is my favorite. So you guys have a wonderful night and cool beans.